A stroke can steal a life in less time than it takes to drink a cup of coffee. Every minute matters. When a stroke begins, brain cells start dying almost immediately. In fact, nearly 2 million brain cells can be lost every single minute during an untreated stroke. That means the difference between recognizing it right away and noticing it too late can determine whether someone fully recovers or faces permanent damage. The frightening part is that strokes often start quietly. No dramatic collapse. No obvious warning. Just a few subtle changes that are easy to ignore. But once you know what to look for, you can recognize a stroke in minutes, sometimes even seconds, and that knowledge can save a life. A stroke happens when blood flow to part of the brain is interrupted. The brain depends on a constant supply of oxygen carried by blood. When that supply stops, brain cells begin to die quickly. There are two main types. The first is an ischemic stroke, which happens when a clot blocks a blood vessel in the brain. This is the most common type. The second is a hemorrhagic stroke, which occurs when a blood vessel ruptures and causes bleeding in the brain. Even though the causes are different, the warning signs are often very similar. And recognizing those warning signs fast is critical. Doctors use a very simple system to help people identify a stroke quickly. It's called the FAST method. The name itself explains the urgency because acting fast is exactly what saves brain function. Let's break it down. The first letter is F for face. Ask the person to smile. Look closely at both sides of their face. Does one side droop? Does the smile look uneven or lopsided? When a stroke affects the brain, it can weaken the muscles on one side of the body. The face is often one of the first places this shows up. One side may appear numb, sagging, or unable to move properly. Even a small difference between both sides of the face can be an important warning sign. The second letter is A for arms. Ask the person to raise both arms at the same time. Watch carefully. Does one arm drift downward? Does one arm feel weak or unable to stay up? Stroke-related weakness usually affects one side of the body. Sometimes the person might say their arm feels heavy or numb. Other times they may not even realize that one arm is dropping. That simple movement can reveal a serious problem in seconds. The third letter is S for speech. Speech problems are one of the most noticeable symptoms of a stroke. Ask the person to repeat a simple sentence, such as, "Today is a beautiful day." Listen closely. Are the words slurred? Are they struggling to pronounce simple words? Are they using the wrong words or having trouble forming a sentence? Some people suddenly sound confused. Others may understand what they want to say but cannot get the words out. Speech changes are one of the clearest red flags. The final letter is T for time. If you notice any of these signs, face drooping, arm weakness, or speech difficulty, time is critical. Call emergency services immediately. Do not wait to see if the symptoms go away. Do not assume the person is just tired or dehydrated. The faster medical treatment begins, the more brain tissue doctors can save. There is a powerful treatment called clot-busting medication that can stop certain strokes and restore blood flow. But it must be given within a limited window of time, often within just a few hours. That's why recognizing the signs early is so important. But the FAST method is not the only thing to watch for. Some strokes can show additional symptoms that people often overlook. Sudden vision problems can appear without warning. A person may lose vision in one eye or see double. Others describe a sudden dark curtain or blurred vision. Another common symptom is a sudden, severe headache that feels different from any headache before. People often describe it as the worst headache of their life. Dizziness, trouble walking, or loss of balance can also appear suddenly. Sometimes a person may feel numbness or weakness in the leg, making it hard to stand or walk straight. The key word here is sudden. Stroke symptoms usually appear abruptly. One moment everything feels normal, the next moment something is clearly wrong. One important thing many people don't realize is that strokes don't only happen to older adults. While age increases risk, strokes can affect people in their 40s, 30s, and sometimes even younger. High blood pressure, smoking, diabetes, high cholesterol, obesity, and lack of exercise all increase stroke risk. But even people without obvious risk factors can experience a stroke. That's why awareness matters so much. Here's the key insight that medical professionals emphasize again and again. You don't need to diagnose a stroke. You only need to suspect one. Many people hesitate because they are afraid of overreacting. They worry about calling for help if they are not completely sure, but doctors would much rather evaluate someone who turns out to be fine than lose precious time during a real stroke. When it comes to strokes, hesitation is often the biggest danger. Remember the simple checklist: face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, time to call for help. That entire check can take less than 1 minute. And that 1 minute can make the difference between recovery and permanent disability. If more people understood these signs, thousands of lives could change every year. Families would avoid tragedy, survivors would have better outcomes, and more people would receive treatment before it's too late. Knowledge like this is powerful because it's simple. You don't need medical training. You don't need special tools. Just awareness and the willingness to act quickly. So remember the FAST method and share it with the people around you. A friend, a parent, a coworker, or even a stranger could one day depend on someone recognizing those symptoms. And if you want to learn more simple health signals that your body might be sending, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, check the description below. There's a helpful quick reference guide you can save on your phone so you can remember the fast stroke signs anytime you need them, because the more prepared you are, the faster you can act, and the faster you act, the more lives you can save.